Mozambique is a very strategic place, particularly this region. This people group, the Shona, in this region, it's a massive people group that spreads from this region into most of Zimbabwe up into Malawi. If they get the gospel, they're able to carry it into the rest of sub-Saharan Africa. If we don't touch them where they live, if we don't bring the gospel into their circumstances, what good is it? It just becomes another religious theory in their head with no practical relevance to their life. So yes, we need to preach the kingdom of God, but we need to demonstrate it as well. What we found was the people were starving to death, especially the most vulnerable. Because of the war, because HIV, because of malaria, a lot of mothers had died. Now, when the moms die, the babies die. They come once a week, the baby is weighed, we provide the powdered milk, and a well baby checkup. If the baby has malaria, we take care of that. Sometimes the caregiver's a 13-year-old sister, both parents are dead. She's got 2 or 3 other younger siblings that she's caring for and a brand new baby. So we teach that child how to raise the baby. We started with, 2 or 3 kids, 10 kids, 50 kids. When we got to 100 children, we had a bit of a panic attack and said, well, we'll just take care of these. And the clinic director, Jackie, another woman came to her with a newborn infant whose mother had died, and she sent her away. Says, no, we're maxed out. We're doing all we can with 100. Jackie couldn't sleep all night because she knew that was a death sentence to that child. So the next day she sent someone to go fetch that woman and the baby, brought her in, and we just collaborated together and decided to take whoever comes. Now we have 800 children, and we still don't know where we're getting the next supply of milk. Sometimes we're down to that last bag of milk, but we've been doing this for about 14 years now. We haven't missed one meal. The Lord brings it in. So I gathered the village together and says, look, our purpose here is to serve you. What can we do to bless your community? And they wanted a clinic and they wanted a school. We decided to bring Julie in. She's the primary school teacher. And we started the preschool. We have about 48 children right now. Most of them are the children of the Muslim families. We started with Old Testament stories because Christianity has that in common with Islam and with the Quran. So for the first year, we just taught Old Testament stories about Moses, about Abraham, but then in the next year, we started full on in the New Testament with Jesus. Now, when we started preaching Jesus, one family immediately took their child out of the school. It was a little girl, but she cried for 3 days, drove the family nuts, so they brought her back. And since then, we haven't had a single problem. The greatest resource we need isn't money or materials or stuff, it's people. It's like what Jesus says, that the harvest is ripe. Pray to the Lord of the harvest. Send laborers into the field.